Good morning, my friends, and thank you for coming to share a shave with me. Today's shave is brought to us by one of my very favorite soaps, PdP number 63. I've had this soap for almost a year, and you can still clearly see the ghost of the 63 still there. I'm pretty sure that this soap regenerates, and it continues to grow, so if I don't use it, it may burst out of the container and flood my bathroom, so I have to use it occasionally. It smells wonderful. It's a triple milled soap, so it's really hard, so you kind of have to bloom it in order to have anything happen. I'm using today an Omega Badger brush, boar brush. What, kitty? Oh, safety cat's arrived. There you go. Come on. Safety crew's a little late in showing up, but she's here now. Come on. Okay. Now the safety crew's on site, we can proceed. Razor. I'm going to start out, because this is pretty much an all French soap, with the exception of this is made in Italy, but they're neighbors, so you gotta like that. I'll be using a Thieves made razor. It's really I can't read it. It's from the Thieves region. Something Dumont. It's a Barbaduri. It's a French razor, but it's not one of the big names. It's a nice razor, though. I may do one pass with it because it's been a long time and it's probably due for refreshing. In the event that it should go badly, I've got the Vector on site and ready to go with the new with the brand new Feather Pro Guard blade. This is a pretty good soap, though. I like the aroma or the fragrance of it, and for a kind of a mass-produced soap, it's a goodie. I have the matching. They say it's an eau de toilette, but it's very mild in fragrance. I use it as an aftershave after the witch hazel. It's terrible hot outside, and I'm not going out today, so I get to sit around and enjoy my fragrance. Dipping the tips in the water to build my lather, and of course, being a we talked about this last night on our old guy call. This brush has very long. The bristles are real long, and doesn't bloom out. It stays pretty straight. I kind of like that with boar brushes. My Badger brushes. This is something interesting. This is a new brush to me. This is my Grey Dog brush, and notice how much it's bloomed out since I've only shaved with it twice and lathered 3 times, and it's just it's gonna turn into a it's beautiful, but it's really blossomed out. And this boar brush is one of my older brushes, and it has not blossomed out. I kind of like that in a boar anyway. And that seems to be, according to Wood Pusher or Sam, it's kind of a feature of Omega brushes. They tend to stay pretty collected in size. I probably could have used a little more fluid here. There we go. Some would think of this as a soupy mess, but you gotta have kind of a, for me anyway, a little bit wetter soap to use with open blades. He seems to be slicker and prevents the Murphys. Even though I have a safety cat on site, I still don't want to let my guard down. Okay, let's go. The razor's doing a fine job. I just dropped it 50 laps in the hopes that that would bring him up to snuff, but it's still kind of tuggy. It's doing a job. It's not cutting as closely as I like. And a dull razor is kind of a dangerous thing. You don't really want to mess with it too much, because it'll definitely cause some irritation, and there's always the risk of it stalling. And causing fluids to leak, and that's something we like to avoid. Yeah. Just gonna take a trip to the J-Nats for this guy. It needs a little bit more attention. Calling an audible. Where it did get the big lengthy whiskers, it's leaving a lot behind, and doing a full shave with it would probably be irritating. So we're switching gears here in mid-flight, and we are going to go back to the Vector. Something else we discussed last night was that, at least for me, this Vector seems to prefer to be used with the Pro Guards or a guarded blade. It doesn't seem to like unguarded single edge blades, but this is a fine razor, and I like it. Pretty well. Did you see that kind of a juddering? It's a, I think I may have broke the lather, because it was starting to grip a little bit. I'll go to the puck a little bit and anoint this part. There we go. We're back to slick again. We were kind of comparing notes on feathers and Schick Pro lines and Kai Artist Club style blades, and they're all pretty good, and certain razors favor certain models of these blades. Bullwinkle, it doesn't seem to matter what I put in him. Although for the most part I've only used the Schick Pro line and the Pro Guards in it. I haven't tried anything else yet. You can see from before I've got a couple of irritated spots on my neck. But those aren't bad enough that it's going to cause any trouble. I hate to think I'm losing my mojo on lathering. You can see the two spots here. There's a third one try and go here. So I'll just gotta kind of go carefully across that. Well, despite a little bit of broken lather, I end up with a pretty good shave. Today's outside is sunshine, but it's real humid out there. Typical Ohio Valley weather in the summer. Yeah, I stung myself pretty good there. Let's wrench some of this off. Use one of the good towels here. Get ourselves up with witch hazel. There's an experiment coming up with witch hazel. Tales of Daring Do. I'm trying to figure out what the difference is between standard witch hazel and medicated witch hazel. And I seem to see the difference in just one item. And we're going to experiment a bit here and let you know how that turns out. I'm gonna treat this like an eau de toilette, make myself smell pretty for everybody, and that's it for our shave today. Our shave today was brought to us by the PdP number 63. We used the Mashing EDT and witch hazel, the just Dickinson's. We started out with this Bijou du Montel, I think is what it is. But I'm not sure. I'll have to look at my notes. I have this. I've used this a number of times, but I keep having to look it up every time I use it because I keep forgetting who it's from. It's a fairly obscure. This is our Blackland Vector using a feather Pro Guard blade on its first try. And lathering duties were done with the Omega long bristled borer brush. That's all I have for today. Thank you so much for coming to visit. I'm Major Rich. You'll find me at theshavingcadre.com. I invite you to come and visit. It's a wonderful place, and I think you'll all have a good time. So we'll see you next time, and by then this little thingy here will have healed. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.